Hello there, my zealots. This is Joshua coming at you today. I thought I would discuss today with you what the sigil is. Sorry, that thing. That is the sigil. It is the religious symbol that God has shown to me and that He asked me to create, and He made me write down a lot of rules on how to create it. So, this is the sigil. Now I'm going to show you what each part of the sigil means and what it's for and how it works. So I have a bigger version of it right here. Now, I'm going to leave that one right there so we can reference it as a whole, but I'm going to show you all the independent parts of this. All right, right here. Hello. It's big. So, as you see here, this big circle represents God. That is the entirety of God. You'll see on the right-hand side here, right-hand side, this is the bracket. This represents grace, and this represents obedience or the law. Okay, this is for those that are repentant, and this is when you are actually doing the will of God. There are two different sides of the same coin. You need both equally to gain salvation. Very important. Okay, now the circle makes up, these two lines make up all of creation. Above this is spiritual. Below this is the physical. And in here, this is your free will. The upper part of free will is your logical. Below this is your emotional. All right? So this is your free will. This is spiritual. This is physical. Now, if you have a slant, see how some of these are slanted? Slant. All the ones on this side are slanted the same direction. All the ones on this side are slanted the same direction. That means you're slanting towards either grace or obedience. And if your mental focus, your logical focus is slanting towards slanting towards grace, but your emotional mind is focusing on obedience, then you would be a messenger of God because you love people and you're very nice to them and it's good for you. If you're focusing on the other side, if you're leaning the other direction, if your mental focus is focused on obedience, but in your heart you dwell on, in your emotional side, you're grateful for grace, then that makes you a warrior or the hand of God. Now, there are different aspects. As you can see, some of these have lower lines, some of them have higher lines, and some of them have both lines. That means that if you have an upper line, that means you're a spirit. If you have a lower line, that means you are physical. And if you have an upper and a lower line, that means you are spirit and physical. You have both. These two represent Gabriel. This is Gabriel, who is the messenger for God. This is Michael, which is a warrior for God. This is the mouth of God. This is the hand of God. Okay? Then we have down here, we have Abraham, who was the first one to receive God's promise. Then we have Moses, who is the bringer of the law. And he also brought the plagues upon Egypt through God, of course, obviously. And then we have here, who is the Messiah. This guy, he has his logical focus dead centered with law and grace, just as he has his emotional mind centered on law and grace. He doesn't have a problem. Okay. Then we have here, which is the right hand anointed, which is the Apostle Paul. And over here is the right hand anointed. This makes up the entirety of the Word of God and all those 7 witnesses that are the ones that proclaim the Word of God in its entirety. And that's what this is. That's the whole point of this symbol. This is why this is the religious symbol that God has shared with me to believe in the Word of God. And now I'm sharing it with you. You have a blessed day. You know I love God because I love virtue, justice, and salvation. If you want instructions on how to build this, let me know, and I will share that with you. You have a great day. Bye-bye.